Hey everyone, in this video we're going to check out the last exam objective for the Autodesk Certified User Certification for Fusion 360, and this is going to be in the Sculpt category. So the last one called Thicken a Form. So this one here, again, the Sculpt environment is not heavily kind of assessed on the Fusion 360 exam, but there are some basic things that students may want to know or need to know in order to do so. So I'm going to go ahead and go into create a form. So I've covered how to create forms in a previous video if you need to check that out. And I'm going to create a cylinder. And let's say I go ahead and I create this cylinder. Again, we can always change some of the options and everything. But I'm going to go ahead and say OK. And then, of course, if I go to modify, I can edit the form. And let's say here with one of the top vertices, I'm going to go ahead and make a little bit of an edit. So let's say we make kind of like a, maybe almost like a pitcher or something like that kind of shape where we have this kind of spout or something like that to create this little kind of spot where the water would come out, or a faucet or something like that. So what we're going to do here is, one thing I want to showcase is whenever you use a form, is that if you're in the form environment, if I run the section analysis under the inspect panel, you're going to see there's no solid geometry to this particular form. And even if I turn off that section analysis, let me delete it, and even if I finish the form, you'll see this is when we come back to the solid environment, there still is no solid geometry. It's really just kind of almost like a sheet of paper. So there's not a lot of volume to it or anything like that. In fact, you're not going to be able to get any properties like volume or surface area or anything off of this shape. So what we have to do in order to make it a solid is I'm going to go back down here to my model history tree and edit the form, and I'm going to go ahead and go to modify and down to thicken. So it allows for a thickness and also gives us a chance to do some end treatments as well. The only thing we're going to cover though is the thicken option. So the first thing it asks for is to select the T-spline body. So the T-spline is what they refer to here as the entire body. And then what thickness we wanted to, let's go ahead and say, let's put on a thickness of, we'll do 0.25. So you'll kind of see it'll kind of show what it's going to add to. Do we want sharp? Let's say we'll go for some soft edges. And then we'll just do normal direction type. And when we say OK, this is going to be the shape that we kind of get. So when I finish the form, now you're going to see there's an actual kind of, thickness to it. And if I check now with my section analysis tool, you can see now I have solid lines to which this ends up showing us a solid. So I'm going to cancel. If I go up here to the component name and go to properties, we're actually going to be able to get underneath the physical section, we're going to now be able to get like a mass, a volume, a density, and some of the other physical properties that we would need. But that is how to thicken a form to be able to make it into a solid. Without that option, it would not be able to pick up some of those things. So, and of course there's some other items you can always go through and add, but that is the main kind of basic command that students need to be aware of for the Autodesk Certified User exam. So hopefully this was some good information to be able to be prepared for that. If you have questions, please feel free to contact me. But otherwise, continue on to watch some of the other videos to see what other Autodesk Certified User exam objectives for Fusion 360 there are, and do well with trying to prepare for the exam.